Hello and welcome back. I'm Karen Ziegler and I help enterprise leaders cultivate the creative potential of their employees to innovate the way the future of their enterprises work. And I do that through the delivery of design thinking and consulting. So thanks for tuning in, and in today's episode I'm going to talk about perhaps something that you can sense at the end of 2020, and that is how exhausting has this year of innovation been. And I call it a year of innovation because that's really looking at the positive of 2020. There were so many challenges that we faced as individuals and as companies and as a country. And it's been exhausting, to say the least. And when it comes to innovation, there probably hasn't been any year in history that has probably seen the largest influx of innovation and the need to embrace innovation as we did with the pandemic. But it is very likely that it could have left you exhausted. And today I want to let you know that probably one of the reasons why, other than the magnitude of it, is that you were only using half of your brain. Yeah, that's correct. We have two sides of our brain, a left side and a right side, and both are needed for innovation, but the more critical part is the right brain, or the creative brain. Our logical brain likes to get in there and figure out how it's going to work, but the inspiration that comes to create the innovation comes through on the right side of the brain, or it should, because oftentimes innovations that come through the left side of the brain lead us down the wrong path and to solving the wrong problems. But how do we tap into this creative potential? That's what I want to share with you today. And the good news is tapping into that creative potential will also take care of one of your most in-depth needs after this year of innovation, and that is self-care and rest. So yes, you didn't hear me wrong. Self-care and innovation go well hand in hand together. And today I'm going to talk about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I should have counted those beforehand. 7 reasons why self-care will improve your innovations. And anytime we want to improve anything, which is what innovation is, we have to be willing to start with ourselves. And so that's what self-care is about, the willingness to focus on our own needs and our own desires for improvement and to make those happen. But it just so happens that, and I find this interesting, it does in many areas of life. What happens with us as individuals is also what happens when you put more and more together to the size of an enterprise. As within, so without is a quote that I often refer to. But let's talk about self-care and why, in fact, it is a priority, or should be a priority, for you as an enterprise leader, as well as for your employees that you're looking to tap into their creativity. So the first reason out of the 7 is that it quiets the logical brain. You know, think about whether you're meditating or taking a nap or even going out for a run or lifting weights in the gym. You're really focused on what you're doing. Your mind is not racing. In fact, it may race in the beginning, but after about 5-10 minutes of exercise or whatever the method you're using, your logical brain begins to relax. And that is where creativity is birthed, in the right brain. So when we allow our logical brains to relax through some form of self-care, then our right brains have the opportunity to jump in there with some creative ideas. And that's where we can launch some inspiration to solve those problems that we've faced in 2020. So the second idea, and it comes with that opening of the right brain, or the engaging of the right brain, more like a relaxation of the brain as a whole, is that it allows the inspiration to flow through. With the left brain quieted, inspiration has the ability to flow in much easier. And you've probably experienced this with taking a shower or driving your car somewhere when you've been thinking too much about a problem and you allow to let your mind to relax. But you can be intentional about letting your logical mind relax by practicing your favorite form of self-care. So the second thing is it requires and improves focus. Whether it's exercise or a hobby like painting, focus is improved. Even in meditation, people often complain that meditation drives them crazy because their mind won't be quiet. But that's the whole point. No one's mind is ever quiet. That's part of being alive. But the meditation allows you to take note of, oh, there goes thoughts, and I'm going to bring it back to a focus of the breath. So it's just a constant practice of refocusing the mind. And so that happens with exercise too. In fact, if you've ever experienced an injury due to exercise, it's more than likely the fact that you had turned on your left or logical brain, because the minute we do that, we get out of our body and into our brain, and that's when accidents happen. I learned that one in yoga class. So it requires focus. Self-care requires focus, whether you're painting or crocheting or whatever your hobby is, or whether you're out running or mountain biking is one of my favorites. It requires focus, and that focus allows us to let our left brain relax and our right brain to open up for some creativity. There's a wonderful quote about slowing down in order to speed up, and that's what self-care allows us to do. When we slow down long enough to get the inspiration, to get the new and innovative ideas, then we can speed up and get to the solution to our problem faster, or more specifically, get to the vision that we have for the future of our company. So think of it as recharging your innovation batteries. So if you've ever felt guilty about going to the gym or taking an hour away from work, away from a big problem that really is urgent to be solved, think about it as you are recharging your innovation batteries. Next, it reduces stress, and goodness gracious, do we need that to happen in 2020? And literally, anytime you're a business leader, reducing stress for yourself as well as your employees is useful, because we make dumb decisions when we're stressed, and we can make dumb innovations as well. So it reduces stress. It's quite common that we make poor decisions, and with the nature of innovation, meaning that there's a high failure rate, or experimentation is the way I like to look at it, you don't want to increase that failure rate by making decisions when you're in a poor state of health or state of mind. The next one is it is shown to increase compassion. When we care for ourselves better, we can better care for others. And wow, that idea of having compassion and caring for those that are in our influence as leaders has really come to the forefront in 2020, in that our employees need it to function. They need it to perform at their best. And so when we begin to take care of ourselves, then we can begin to take care of others. It's a key component of leadership. It's also a key component, in fact, the first phase of design thinking, known as the empathy phase. And the last one, it helps us to get in the rhythm of effort and rest, because that's the nature of creativity. If you've ever observed a creative person, or you have read stories about creative people, they have a really they may be able to put hours and hours in of work, but they also have a rhythm of effort and rest. And that's going to be different for every individual. It's going to be based on a lot of other health factors and mental capacities, but all creativity has a rhythm of effort and rest. And so whether it is you are stuck in a particular problem you're trying to solve, or you just want to improve your ability to innovate, it's time that you took some time for self-care. Think of it as recharging your innovation batteries. Begin to notice how your creativity shifts and begins to accelerate as you take more time to take care of yourself. Let your left brain relax and let your right brain flourish. Thanks so much for watching. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I hope that 2021 lead you on a better path of not only self-care but innovation. If I can help you tap in or cultivate the full potential of your team, I hope that you'll reach out to me. In the meantime, like this video, subscribe, hit the bell so that you don't miss an episode, and follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for watching. Have a happy